Alright, we got this Mame Trident that I've been growing in this colander for 2 years now. So everything you see is 2 years. It started off with just this trunk, and I've kind of built everything around here. This next section of trunk, I grafted a branch back here, and now working on this next section of trunk and all the branches. So now it's time to get it out of this growing container where it's growing really, really quick. And now I really want to slow this tree down. I want this to grow as slow as possible, essentially. And so I'm going to get this into a nice little pot so I can just work on the surface roots, the nabari, get some good nabari going on, and just grow the tree slowly now. Okay, so I'm going to get this tree out of this colander, and we'll find something that we can put it in. Alright, so no tie downs. So it should just pop off nice and easy. Although the roots might kind of grow into the little holes in the colander. Yeah, sometimes it can be hard to. Okay, there we go. Lots of fine roots in here. This soil is still good, right? And so I'll keep all this old soil and I'll wait until the summer, and then I'll dry it out and sift it and use it for growing projects next year. I won't use it for good bonsai, but just for simple growing projects, that kind of soil is good for. All right, so not really great surface roots on this side. some right there. So I probably won't be able to put this straight into a bonsai pot. I'll put this in a small grow pot. Look, this root right here is too big. So definitely have some root work to resolve, but that'll come with time. Really good roots. Love colander growing, even for deciduous. So I want the angle to be like this, but I only have a few surface roots right here. So I'm gonna wanna continue to grow new roots here, because the surface roots on this side are great. And if I were to plant them flat, it wouldn't have as much movement and it'd be a little weird looking. But I really want it like this. So I gotta continue working on these roots right here. So I want to be careful with those. But all this stuff down here, kind of straighten the roots out. Looks like the surface roots would be better down here. But I think that makes the tree too tall. Let me check. Yeah, if I were to use I couldn't grow it. If I used these surface roots, which does look like there is, if I use these surface roots underneath this one, these top layer, it's got a good base right there, but it would make the tree 4 inches would be exactly this. And I want this to grow more like this. So yeah, I'm really gonna have to build new surface roots or a new nabari on this one. That's okay. Okay, let me get my smaller cutters. And I'm going really hard on the roots here because I want those roots to grow higher up and where I want them to. If I were to keep all this, since there's so many and they're so big, it would take up most of that growing into those roots instead of growing them really where I want them. And it looks like this backside is pretty good. Starting to get some nice roots here. I'm going to be a little conservative with the amount that I'm leaving on below where I want those new roots to grow. make sure to keep the roots moist. I don't want the roots that are there to die. I'm gonna get a little sharp pointy stick, a little chopstick or something very, very sharp. Where I can get into those fine little detail areas. So yeah, I want that to be a little higher than where all those roots are now. Like this one's a little too high up here, but I'm gonna leave it. And then, yeah, this one is perfect. So hopefully that these will start growing. And you don't want to be doing this much root work if your tree is unhealthy. So the health of the tree is always paramount, always the most important. This one root is kind of growing up. You see that? It's kind of growing up. Gonna get rid of that. All right, and that looks good. Okay, again, the reason why I'm doing this much root work is to try and get roots to stimulate further up and build a new nabari or surface roots. Okay, so now I'm gonna go find a pot, something to put this in, something that's gonna allow those roots to grow this way and not down this way too much. Just a little more cutting here. So here's a nice little pot, but this pot really is, when the tree is finished, this pot will be too big for the tree, but it doesn't really fit right now because of the root work that we're trying to do. It's not deep enough and doesn't allow me to keep moisture up here where I want new roots to grow. So maybe that'll be the next step. Like once I get some better surface roots up here, then I can kind of move to that. But for right now, I'm just gonna put it in this grow pot. It's deep enough, round enough, where I can start to work on growing those roots. So I'm gonna prepare this, clean it up, prepare it, and then I'll be back. All right, we're all prepared, pot's prepared. A little bit of pumice at the bottom because it's cheap and drains well. And then I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. So again, I want to make sure those roots all right, that looks about right. And I'm really just worried about, or making sure that the new angle is right, because I want those new roots to grow out like this. So I really want to make sure that I have it at the correct angle. And that looks pretty good right there. So now you can see. And also I don't need to do a lot of chopsticking. I can do a little bit, but there was not many roots. I just want to make sure that kind of gets in between what is there. Still need to add just a little bit more. Wish I got a little straighter in the pot too. Yeah, a little more in the middle. Okay, that's good. Because I shifted it, I want to just double check, make sure there's no weird pockets. I'm really not concerned about getting this there isn't really roots, like a root base for me to kind of tie it down in. So I'm just gonna take these tie downs and kind of just set them on a branch. Just thought I'd show a different way to kind of hold some growing material down. Not everything needs to be tied traditionally. There's also some other techniques we can use if we don't have enough roots. We don't have enough roots to tie and hold the tree down. So this is just a kind of another easy way to kind of hold the tree in the pot for a little bit. I just want to make sure that for deciduous that the branches don't grow too much and the wire bites in or creates a scar or whatever. All right, so notice how the soil is above where I want new roots to grow. It's above where I want those new roots to grow. Okay. And even if it was that size, it would be fine too. So this looks good right here. I'm happy with that. Hopefully we'll get new roots growing here at the top. I'm also going to cover this in moss, so let me prepare that. All right, I have a combination of like some dried moss, some wet moss, some sphagnum moss, and I'm going to just grind it up through a large grate, a large sifter. Just kind of mush it all together, grind it up, remove any chunks of stuff you don't want. Just kind of grate it. Also, if you haven't already, take a second to like the video and subscribe. Kind of helps me see where I'm at and helps me get noticed and stuff like that, so I appreciate it. And hopefully things will start to allow me to make a little more videos here in the future, a little more regularly. Okay, there we go. And just take everything that fell through. This will just help keep the moisture really close to the surface where I want those new roots to grow. It'll just help keep that area of the trunk from drying out and help promote new roots to grow there. Okay, I'll water this in and I'll be right back. All right, here we go, our finished little project we're working on. All watered in, repotted. Hopefully we'll get those roots where we want them. And I know some of you are going to be scared to cut that many roots, but you know, remember the situation. It's all going to be situation dependent. In this situation, I really wanted to cut those roots hard because I don't want to thicken any roots or thicken any branches up. I'm not trying to repair anything. I really just want those surface roots to grow where I want them to, and to grow the tree really slow. Um, you know, you're not going to do and remove that many roots if you're still growing and working on branches and stuff like that. But this tree I want to grow really slow. And so, I mean, I even could have put a smaller pot, but this is what I had available. So next year, I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to take it out of this, hopefully get into something a little smaller next time, depending on what kind of roots it gives me. And I really just want to focus on just getting those roots exactly where I want them to. Once I get them all the way around and kind of in the right level, I'll put it into something nice and shallow and start letting those roots grow outwards. Okay, but for now, this is it. It's not too late to repot. You didn't see any new roots growing, so you know, don't be afraid to repot if things are kind of popping out like this. If your aftercare is good, add some moss, don't let it dry out, you'll be fine. Okay, again, like, comment, ask a question, subscribe. You know the YouTube deal. Let me know. Thank you.